Oh, we on.
We
Oh,
talked about me.
okay.
And, you weren't even ready.
My plastic bag. My plastic
Your
bag.
plastic bag. You know what? I'm going to give you a break. You know why?
Why?
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Hey, hey.
Yes, it was. It was my birthday. What day was that? The first.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. It was my birthday. The first.
Yesterday was your birthday, but I can understand because we started it on Friday.
Yeah.
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 First of all, hello and welcome to Conversing and Relating.
Yeah, I am one half of the co-host show. I don't know. I sound off. I'm life coach Jay Hughes.
April Autumn here.
Okay. So, yeah, I sound off. I need a drink.
You are like moving.
I'm not even doing anything.
I mean, that's part of the problem, right?
I'm not even doing anything. Let me go and pull that Douce in there. That should help me out.
See, Arrow.
What you want, CC?
It's so good to see you. Glad that you are here.
Oh, active and participating and stuff. I don't know.
Yes, excited,
talk about that.
Excited. But yeah, it was your birthday weekend. We had a marvelous time doing an 80s/90s theme party at the skate rink. Yeah,
it was a very, very much well-deserved and thought-out plan. And I was definitely surprised because people showed up. I didn't think it was going to show up.
You didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah, I didn't know it was happening.
I was about to say,
yeah, I didn't know it was happening, but I didn't think people would show up when I realized what we were doing. And I'm like, people would. I appreciate it, CC.
Thanks, heart you.
People would, not be there. I don't know. But they showed up. And then here's the funny thing about old people.
Excuse me?
Old people.
Excuse?
We're not old.
Anyway,
we're not old.
You're referring to the people who came to the party, but whatever. Go ahead.
Nick, here's the funny thing about nigras. The funny thing about that is, did nobody want to bust their ass on that floor? So
I didn't want to, but I actually went out and skated.
You did. You went out and skated, and it was fun because we skated together a lot. And it was mainly me skating. And my daughter skating, our daughter skating. And I had a blast. And I wasn't sore the next morning.
I wasn't either.
We normally are.
We usually are.
Yeah, we work out together. We took a break from that for a second. But
it's
for a second, yeah. But we would work out together and it would be like, we'd be like crippled in the bed the next morning. Like, can you move? I can't move either, Somebody call the ambulance. Like, it was bad. But we went skating and it was not that. It wasn't.
I have a good time. So much so that now I've dedicated to skating in the house to get my life together so I can actually be much better when we do couples skate.
First of all, skating in the house. We have a big enough house so she can skate in a certain area, maybe 2 areas in the house. Okay. Yeah. She ain't just out here skating in the house all willy-nilly because.
No, listen, I've done it in the garage, which was a one
part
garage.
Back
and forth, turn around, come back, go backwards. To get better. That's how you get better.
Yeah. We got a larger area. We have a larger area, thank God. Mm-hmm. And now you can skate inside and outside of the house, which I don't recommend you doing without supervision. So, because you may fall. You was working it a little bit. She was working it. Y'all should have seen her, And then when she realized it was one too many of these right here, it was like, hey, It was one too many of those. Then she was like, I think I'm gonna sit down and watch a little bit of movies with y'all.
Here's the thing. Like, he is so smooth. I think on the page, like, I'm gonna put the video of you.
You gonna put the video up?
I am.
That's cool.
Like, you so like smooth with it. And I'm like, let me sit down before I break my behind. And he just like glide on. So it's just so like, it's a little intimidating, but I'm going to get better.
I don't mean to be, I grew up skating. So that's why.
Skating too. But I mean, there's been a large number of years.
See, In between time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yes,
me
man.
skating in the 20s is different than me skating in the 50s because I think when I was like in my teens and 20s, I wasn't afraid to fall. Now I'm like, that might be a whole issue. I'm sorry. We are way out.
Look, don't it seem like the floor is way farther down the older you get? That floor is farther. You look down, you like, yeah. What am I doing up here?
I think I want to go down there.
Who convinced me to get on these goddamn skates? What the hell am I doing up here?
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we appreciate y'all letting us banter about what we did.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing is Mr. Man is 42. Hey. And he had a really good birthday. So I'm excited.
Really good birthday. Yeah.
I'm blessed to have you in my life, and you're blessed to have another year.
I am blessed to have you in my life. Because let it be known, this is the caveat, people. I do not like surprises. So I let her plan a whole birthday surprise, and I didn't like it. I liked her surprise, but I normally don't let people plan surprise parties. And I must say, between my sister, who threw me a party a while ago, and then between my sister and my wife, those two best surprise parties ever, because I got to see people I haven't seen in a while. I got to do things like bowl. My sister took me bowling, and then you took me skating. Two of my favorite things that we always grew up doing. You guys both had trivias, so it was solid. It was meaningful. It was solid, and it was, it's amazing what you could do with just $100.
Okay, so I have to check the mic because one of our wonderful folks told me that my mic sounded like they couldn't hear me.
They couldn't hear you?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear us out there?
I appreciate you.
Could y'all hear us out there? Let me see.
Microphone check. Microphone check.
Okay, hold up. Don't go to.
I don't know.
While I'm checking them.
Is it right?
Yeah, the microphone's right.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe it was because my mic was way away from my
Yeah, that may be
it. You know what?
That may be it.
We're not even going to put any insinuation.
No.
Anyway.
That may be it. Anyway, so
she sounds further away.
Yeah.
Oh, better. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
That's what I told you.
I appreciate you and all that you do.
I'm doing.
And I'm praying that you are feeling so much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Khalid, this should let you know not to be a superhero. Like, hang up the cape, lady. Just let it go. Leave it to the police. Don't be out here at night solving small crimes and riddles and stuff. Just let it go. All right.
Delon, why is he like this? Why is he like this?
Shout out to everybody in the room. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to get on topic.
Ooh, Jesus.
Thank you for all the birthday support and shouts out. But we're going to ruffle some feathers right now on purpose.
Should I go to the feelings wheel before?
Who's emotional? Who's emotional right now?
No,
I'm
really.
not emotional.
Maybe
not
later.
Emotional.
Maybe later. But that's what society says about me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're emotional. Yeah.
So what are we talking about tonight, leader?
Why am I the leader?
Already instigating.
Yeah, I'm ready to instigate this one.
Okay.
So what we're talking about is privilege. Privilege.
And we're not talking about white privilege.
No,
either.
we're talking
Not
about
today.
black privilege between men and women.
Oh, I need for you to say it correctly. We're talking about black male privilege.
Oh, well, black male privilege.
All right. Yeah.
Look, Sarah says she gonna grab her emotional support blanket. You
There
might want to grab it.
Go grab it.
You might want to grab it because this is
Grab
gonna be
it.
some triggering stuff. We're gonna talk. This is a part 1
Yes.
of the series. We're gonna do a 2-part series from a male point of view and from a female point of view, a black man, black woman point of view. And so right now, today, we're going to start with the black man point of view. We're going to deal with black men or black male privilege.
Right.
All right. So how many think that black male privilege exists? Okay, you just going to raise your hand automatically.
And how does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel? Let me spin the wheel and see how it makes you feel. I think black male privilege does exist.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just not in the context of what we think it is. Because I think when we associate privilege and black and then male, I don't think that we associate it in the way that we associate it with white male privilege.
Okay.
Black male privilege or black privilege is something that just doesn't go together in the average lexicon of black folks. Let me dumb that down. Saying that black folks have privilege is something you don't hear every day at the barbershop.
True.
Okay.
But when we're talking about black men, males, there are definitely certain circumstances and situations that favor them as a man. Now, I think overarching, when we think about things that have happened in society in our recent history, like violence and things of that nature, and public killings and lynchings, all of that kind of stuff, we think, oh, what, black men don't have no power? They don't. But actually, violence against women has been happening quite frequently without a voice. Mm-hmm. And so when we think about things like that, and we're going to delve deeper into this tonight, I want us to kind of think about those kinds of things when we do have it. Let me be clear. We don't want violence to happen to anyone.
No.
Period.
No.
Period.
Yeah.
No, violence is not the answer, in my opinion. I know sometimes it is for you, but
yeah, it is.
But I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
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 But I think it's typically support around black men getting harmed, and at the forefront of movements are black women supporting black men. And sometimes that doesn't always flip back around to black women. So just thoughts.
So you think black men don't support black women?
We're not talking about that today, though.
Oh, look how she knew me. Oh, we gonna take it there today. It's a little testy right now.
A little bit.
It's a little testy right now. So
this is something that's near and dear to my heart. So
yeah,
I'm a womanist, not a feminist. We'll get into that another time
Should I get your preacher robe?
You know what? Go to the diagram. How about that?
Go to the diagram. Yes. All right. We know we like diagrams. We like research.
Yeah.
And what we want to do at this time is share a diagram with you guys. How about that? You guys ready?
Presentation.
All right. So, privilege. Black men, black women. Do we have privilege? Is it prevalent in our society?
Yeah.
The short answer is yes. Okay. Black privilege is prevalent in our society amongst men and women. How we see it and interpret it is different. And that's what we're going to look at, hopefully without setting anybody's emotions on fire today.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It is too late. It is too late. All right. Okay. So the first one.
I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about people.
No, yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah, we trying to set their emotions on fire. We're about y'all. Anyway, we always talk about the hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We've gone through, if you paid attention to our series and some of our previous shows, what this means to you. This should be meaningful to you. It should be driven into your head now by this time, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. However, this part focuses on what, Miss April? The
love and belonging within our community, right? But also your esteem, how you see yourself, and then how you actually get to where you want to get to in self-actualization.
So it covers 3, 4, and 5.
Correct.
And we've covered 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 3 and 4. Now we're covering 3, 4, and 5.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So we know what this is. We don't want to spend too much time on it. All right.
So this is new. So before I start, I want to say something about norms and the 5 key norms that are out here. Norms are typically things that we consider as the cultural standard, right? It's sanctioned behavior. It's more than a habit, right?
Yeah.
And when basically, in my mind, if you don't do these things, you could get into trouble, quote unquote, right? So I'll talk about one that's very natural in our society, which is wearing clothes. We live in a society where we wear clothes. And if you don't, if you go outside naked, well, not scantily clad, but naked, you may get naked.
Arrested.
You may get arrested. The other thing, a couple of years ago, wearing a mask was the norm for our society, right?
Everybody looked like ninjas walking around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we have norms in our society that keep things going. There are 5 key norms that are going to be infused in what we're talking about tonight. And those 5 key norms are this. The first one is we live in a society where we live by there's power over others. Easily. Boss, worker bees.
Yep.
Parents, children.
Right.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Power is not good or bad. Power just is. It's how you manipulate it.
Right.
That makes it good or bad.
Right.
2, violence is acceptable and everywhere.
Right.
Now, there's sanctioned violence, like the military, things of that nature, the police. But also there's other violence like that we really don't talk about, like violence in video games, football, basketball, the streets of Houston, driving can be violent.
Can be violent. Yes, it can.
So there you go. So we don't talk about those things and how it's acceptable and everywhere. We'll come back to violence when I talk about 5. The 2, 3, and 4 go together. 3 notions, limited notions of masculinity. This thought that boys will be boys. And it kind of excuses boys and men from certain behaviors, but it also boxes them in to limit them. For example, men can't cry. They don't have emotions, right? That's one. Or our famous ex-president, grab him by the beep. That's more of that, excusable behavior that boys do, that it should be totally fine because you're male identified. Wrong answer.
Grab him by the wow.
Then the next one is limited notions of femininity. This thought that women belong to and are the property of men. Now, when I say that, every time I say that, and I've said it so many times, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. But historically, we know that to be true.
Yeah.
Right? We are pieces of ourselves. People use advertisement on parts of our bodies to sell products. We're not a whole human being as a female identified person. We're pieces that don't even belong to ourselves. We belong to other people. Yeah. And the last one is privacy and silence. We don't talk about these things, especially when it comes to violence, limited notions of masculinity, and limited notions of femininity. They all go together to keep this divisiveness going.
How does that play out real quickly before we go to the next slide? How does all of that play out in our society today overall, as far as the vision or the visual that Black men and women have when it comes to certain things with each other? Is it because of these 5 key norms or these things that we have made normal as to the reason why we're having, or a segue of why we're having such divisiveness?
Oh, yeah. But this has been in the fabric of our history for a very long time, right? We could go back to slavery and apply all of these. We can, and of course, we are looking at Black culture right now, or people in the African diaspora, but this goes much wider than just our community.
But we only care about ours. No, I'm just playing.
No, we do not.
We're focused about ours right now.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the one that needs the most attention. All right, so let's go to this next slide.
So now, you need to breathe. You need a breath. Take a breath.
I'm emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carl Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a sip. So in bold, you see that? All caps, Black male privilege. So we're going to have a couple of things that we're going to talk about, but what we would like for you to do, and we're going to check the chat. We're going to check it.
Yeah.
We want you to respond in the chat if these statements are still relevant in Black culture right now. So some of the things you want to tell a little bit about this Black privilege checklist.
So this guy, or this person by the name of Jewel Woods, it was a part of a project called the Renaissance Male Project of 2008. And they wrote about something called the Black Male Privilege Checklist. And what they were talking about from a man's perspective of how Black men have the privilege of doing certain things or being certain things or being awarded certain positions or whatever simply because they're a Black male. And it pushes against the notion of saying that Black men do not have Black privilege, but let alone privilege, and how Black privilege can be commonly mistaken or looped in with what is it called?
Stereotypes?
No, that's not it. Not stereotypes.
What?
Come on, somebody in the chat, give it to me. I know they know. When it seems like it's one way for one sex, but then the opposite for the other
double
sex.
Standards.
I'm trying to get them to say it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought
Double
you were talking
standards.
to me. I'm sorry.
No, double standards. Yes. So double standards and privilege kind of loop into the same. And so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about privilege in 3 of the, I think 6 or 7 different categories that they wrote in this paper.
I kind of joined a couple of them together because I wanted to make sure that we covered some. So yeah.
And again, this was done in 2008. There's an updated list in what, 2018, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And so what we want to explore is it's already started. What we want to explore is Black male privilege that could be looked at or looped in with double standards. Okay. All right. Shout out Courtney Crandall. Thank you for saying happy birthday.
The other CC.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Sierra said, sexism.
Bang, bang. She ready.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
You sure you didn't grab your emotional guns instead of blankets, Sierra? God damn. Sexism.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go. Right. Remember, answer true or false in the chat if you feel like this is still relevant in culture today, in our culture today. And
say why you think it's true or false. We want complete dialogue of what you think this is and why you think it is.
Also, you can call in.
Yeah, please call in.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be scared to call in.
You want to say this?
Don't be scared to call in. You know what? I'm not going to say the number. You know why?
Why?
Because Black folk can read.
Oh, well, there you go.
Pick a child.
It is 346-800-4639.
God.
I'm reading. I'm sorry, I can't see that
she
far.
Was all in the camera like it's 46. Hold on, let me get close.
And these are for close up, not for far away.
All right, so let's get to the first one. Again, we want you guys to answer in the chat. This is a real group discussion. Everybody keep it respectful, but we want those ideas and perspectives. All right.
Okay. So I'll read this one.
Oh my God.
As a man,
I
don't have to choose my race over my sex in political matters.
Whoo.
Yeah.
Oh. What does that mean for some people who don't know what we're talking about?
You're a man. Why don't you? I read.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Did I put you on the spot?
No. You read, and thank you. I'm a man. Now let me answer. Okay.
Because I have some thoughts, but I'm respectfully respecting you and your position.
Only because it's my birthday. So what that means is, as a man, I am afforded the right in political matters to be who I am outside of my gender when it comes to being a leadership or a political figure, meaning I'm not judged by my gender before I'm judged by my qualifications as such position. Whereas women, Black women especially, are judged by the fact or it teeters between the two, whether they want to judge you by the fact that you're a Black woman first or that you're Black, then a woman first, or, then a woman second. Whereas a Black man, they're just going to judge me as a Black man and then my qualifications. And I, as a Black man, am afforded that privilege when Black women are not.
I think to go even further, they just look at you first as a man, right? Just out of the gate, you're a man. You're not emotional like a woman. You're not going to operate in your feelings, but in your logic as far as leadership and politics go. So you're a safer choice.
If compared to the choice of black woman or black man, yeah, they do see that.
Right.
Do they look at me as a man? First of all, I don't believe so, but they only play I look at you as a man, not you, but I look at me as a man when they're comparing options, right?
Okay.
If it was two men that are white men, black men, they're not going to see me as a man. They're going to see me as black first. But if it's an option between black man, black woman, then they're going to see me as a man first that just happens to be black, where they're going to see her as a woman first who happens to be black. Mm-hmm. Or a black person who happens to be a woman. Either way, for her, it's a double negative, where for me, it's only a double negative when I'm compared to her, not compared to my white male counterparts.
Got it.
Right. All right, what do we think? What are we thinking? Courtney says, false. We live in America, and in my opinion, your blackness always comes first.
Okay. Whew. All right. Thank you.
Courtney!
Speak
that talk. Delon says, true.
Okay. He would know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He's
definitely
playing that
know.
game right now. But anyway, he can't say too much.
Yeah, he can't say too much. Matter of fact, his name is Rashad Ahmad Shabazz. That's gonna be his name from now on.
Change that.
Change that. We don't need your real name out here. For political reasons. Sierra says true, because some men feel they are a man above being black, so power for being a man, then however they feel towards blackness. Yeah, again, that's right on the head. Yeah,
Remember,
I would agree with that.
Client that says my parents associate as black. I don't.
Right. Yeah.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got choice. All right.
Got choices.
Okay.
Got choices. Apparently, when it works for you and when it suits you, you're black if you're about to be in trouble. You want to be cool, but you're not black around the political establishment. That's a good one, Sierra. Yeah. Okay. I think that for black men, we're afforded that privilege. Mm-hmm. And I got to say it like that so I can rub some people the wrong way, because it's really a privilege wrapped in double standard.
Yeah.
Again, as a black man compared to my white male counterparts, I'm only seen as a man first if I'm compared between the choices of a black female and a black man. I'm not looked at completely as a man first if I'm chosen between a white man and a black man. Then they see me as black first.
I think even in comparison to other women of color, you're seen as a man. Before the other women of color. I'm still on the fence about if it's a white woman, because sometimes it could go either way. It just kind of depends.
Yeah, white women seem to have that same affordability as white men when it comes to their choice point and how they see black women versus black men.
Correct.
And but I would argue that they learn that from their white male counterparts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are we thinking?
Well, there are a couple of more people in the chat. What they say?
Okay. All right. So the question is, or the statement is, and it's coming from a male's point of view. Again, we want you guys to understand this part is coming from a male's point of view. And it says, as a black man, I don't have to choose my race over my sex in political matters. Okay. And that also can be in the church.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ahmad Shabazz knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said, Craig, I'm Craig.
Right. Oh, Craig. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Craig.
Yeah, Craig.
I got you.
Craig knows what I'm talking about when it comes to this statement right here among black men and black women in the church in leadership roles. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I'm going there. That's right. I'm going there, Craig. Don't worry about it. I'm going there.
Right. There's so much, even though if we want to talk about it, the house is full of women.
Yeah.
But and there's a lot of controversy around if there should be women in the pulpit.
Right. Right.
But the house is full of women.
House is full of women.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't think God just only spoke to men during this whole Bible thing, but that would be me.
Bible thing that's still going on today.
Bible thing,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down that road, Craig, but
we still go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, again, Black man, Black woman, Black man has more power in that situation, even though what we know to be true is that lots of Black women give all they got and then some
to the church.
Mm-hmm.
In service of the church.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hit the next one.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's hit the next one.
That one got okay. When I read African American history textbooks, I will learn mainly about Black men.
That's a privilege. What do you all
think?
Is that a privilege?
Is it still relevant? Is that true now?
Yeah, is that true now? When you think of Black History Month, how many Black women, do you see in Black History Month nowadays compared to when you were actually in school a short time ago? What's the difference? Are they saying more Black women? Are they saying more recent Black women or Black women back in different days? What are your thoughts? My perception of this is, we had this talk before we got on. I think, they're about at 20% mentioning Black women, but you cut that back to 15% because now during Black history, they've magically gotten past Rosa Parks, but then they started mentioning recent Black women as if other Black women like Madam C.J. Walker didn't exist before this recent. You know what I mean?
And the interesting thing is, when we were talking about it, I went to look, there was no mention of Madam C.J. Walker.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, but there was a mention of Oprah.
Yeah.
As you said, Jackie.
FloJo.
Yeah, FloJo. Yeah. And then that led us into that whole, what we are seeing as sports and shucking and jiving.
Yeah.
That was my thought when I talked a lot about Black history and things of that nature at Duke, and with some students it was more about people and sports, and I'm not saying there's not sports history, because there definitely is, but we are so much more than that.
Yeah.
So just my thoughts.
So much more.
We got some thoughts over here.
She said, true. Slide 2 is true.
True.
Okay. All right. As a teacher, currently is still male dominated, but I try to do my half so students can know women are great too. You know what? Do that. Definitely do. Because there are a lot of, listen, how you going to talk about Oprah, but not the person that gave you the perm that you allowed to wear today? I'm upset.
I see.
Oprah just gave you cars. Madam C.J. Walker gave you cars and books, and she really didn't give it to you because it was mainly white women in the crowd. But the person that gave you the perm, hold on, let me go, because she said, took it right out of my mouth. I'm gonna go there. Truth, Black women are most unseen folks in literature and history. Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to get at, but she said it for me, I think. True, because other than Madam C.J. Walker and Harriet Tubman, it's all men. Like we are just now hearing about the father of gynecology or genealogy. And
gynecology.
Gynecology, sorry about it. Using Black women bodies for the very field of medicine we suffer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
But that's the thing, like, not saying that Black men didn't suffer the same contributions to science using our bodies because we were the superior bodies and they knew that. However, what I'm saying is, besides Harriet, it was just Rosa Parks this, Rosa Parks that.
You have an issue with Rosa Parks?
No, she wasn't even the first Black woman to not give up her seat on a bus.
I know.
And it's like Rosa Parks this, Rosa Parks that. And I'm like, hold up. There's a whole slew of women from, music to creations and creators and inventors.
Mm-hmm.
Like
lots of things.
Lots of things.
Different areas. The sciences. I mean, we
science is
totally
definitely
skipped over. Like, geez Louise, why is my brain not working? NASA.
The black astronaut.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just her,
Yeah,
but the women.
yeah.
The movie that just came out.
Oh, what's the name? Mines with
yeah.
Taraji P. Henson.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Horrible. See,
Yeah.
I didn't learn it. That's why it's horrible. I'm sorry. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what everybody else is saying.
Yeah, yeah. Pamela said not doing the same old heroes. Yeah,
more.
Yeah,
Hi, mommy.
Very few black people know about Madam C.J. Walker and how old that started on people my age in the era know about the contributions she brought to us black women and for the same for white. Listen, and that's another thing. A lot of, and this is just my opinion, and I know this may go against man code or whatever. However, I believe that a lot of men, black men and inventors from way back in the day up until now, especially way back in the day, a lot of our inventions and leaps towards breakthroughs in history had to deal with helping ourselves a little bit, right? Like the person who invented the stoplight.
Right.
So, but what I've come to realize and what I truly believe is that black women and inventors, their contributions that had breakthroughs, like a Madam C.J. Walker or like a I would even say Dorothy Dandridge, even though she's an entertainer.
Yeah.
Those helped people like directly. And so what I'm saying is black men and their inventions help people indirectly.
Okay.
While black women and their inventions and or breakthroughs were helping directly. Like she just said, it helped black women and white women.
Yeah.
Right?
Most definitely, because people think that some white women don't have kinky hair, and they do.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. You didn't straighten it on by yourself, Becky. Mention Fannie Lou Hamer. Okay. And the folks that will try to cancel. Yeah, they will. They will. They will.
Yep.
Listen, again, nothing against, my favorite was George Washington Carver and W.E.B. Du Bois, only because of what they've done in their respective fields, where either A, there was nobody else in that field that was making noise, or B, there was somebody else in that field, but they just happened to outshine, just like in George Washington Carver. So, but the things that black women have done inventive wise or breakthrough wise has, if you just take a look at it, it's always helped people directly. Like it's never been something that was she said it right. Hidden Figures. That's the movie.
Thank you. I appreciate you, because my mind. She
calculated all that helped them directly. It wasn't that it was an indirect help.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I'm saying.
No credit for a very, very long time.
Yeah, got no credit for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Very, very long time. Okay. Yeah, Hidden Figures. Children, the white woman in the movie theater is using Relax back.
Relax was back then. They just didn't publicize it.
Yeah.
Thank you, mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fact.
It got real straight for them too.
That's fact. That's fact.
So, yeah.
That's fact. And what she's telling you is, if it weren't for a black woman, white women would not have straight hair.
There it is.
That's just pretty much it.
All right.
Those are facts.
That's straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely good. And so again, this can be looked at as a black male privilege or a black male
double standard.
I'm trying to get.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Look,
but
we don't have anybody on the phone.
You're doing good. You're doing good. All right. So next slide.
Okay. I have the ability to define Black women's beauty by European standards in terms of skin tone, hair, and body size. In comparison, Black women rarely judge me by those same standards. Okay.
You know what? We
it's starting.
Yeah, it's starting. Yeah. Let me read this right quick. Unpopular opinion: Black women bring immediate solutions because we are typically the boots on the ground to the problems. I would say 50% yes.
I would say more than that.
Yeah, I would say 50% because let's just say, call it what it is. we're both on the ground, right? We're both in tune. The black man and the black woman have been on the front lines collectively. When I say 50%, I mean they were the other half of what black men were doing. So at the same time, they couldn't have both of us on the front lines at the same time. So they had to pull the Willie Lynch theory and divide us up. So the solutions to the problems that you had to do it on your own, because when we were doing it together as black man and black woman, both on the front lines, it was too powerful and too important.
Right.
Right. But let's go back to this. Now we're talking about black women. And what this says is, I, as a black man, have the ability to define black women's beauty by European standard in terms of skin tone, hair, and body size. But in comparison, black women rarely judge me by those same standards. I kind of don't agree with that. In this day and time, I kind of don't agree with that.
Okay, let's see what the chat says.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm-hmm.
We are programmed on the definition of beauty through Eurocentric lenses.
Thank you, Delon. I'm sorry, Craig. So not too long ago, it may have been 5 years ago, this I want to say it was Asian psychologist came up with an article. And if any of you know it, please put it in the chat, that said that black women are the most undesirable people on the planet.
Mm. What was it based off of?
And did this whole research, quote unquote, project about being chose and all of these things, and partnering and facial structure and skin tone. And it was determined that black men was the most desirable, while black women were the least desirable. Mm. And in my opinion, at that point, I'm like, that is divisive. That's meant to further divide us.
Courtney said, I remember that article.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I call crap.
Well, you can call crap, but so when we have things out there like that, so it wasn't black men rebutting that. Yeah. It was a whole bunch of black women saying that's bull.
Yeah, I
call bull.
It is.
There was no same vibration from men about how that was untrue. Yeah. And no support that says that we are behind, we're behind you and that's untrue and we love you and all. None of that. Yeah. It was none of that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. True, because we are made to believe the paper bag tests, and even post Jim Crow /slavery. I believe even if not European, view all men, it still happens.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's true. Black men are considered exotic and beautiful as they are, as they should be.
Yep.
Black women do not have the same privilege. And another unpopular opinion, many black men don't help our cause.
Well,
I would
agree
and not agree.
So again, this is tough, and that's why I broke out the feelings wheel. Yeah. Because when I talk about it, you want to spin.
No, I get my stretchy.
Watch out, there's a hole in it.
I'm stretching. There's a hole in the sidewalk.
When I talk about this, it's hard not to personalize it.
Yeah.
So when you personalize it, it then defeats the purpose of having the conversation, because we're not talking about what's here. Yeah. We're talking about what's out here in the community and the society that we live in.
Yeah.
So when we tend to have blinders on and we're looking only right here, it negates everything else that's going around us. When you say, no, there's no fire and your neighbor's house is on fire.
Yeah. It's a fire. Yeah. It's a fire. So for my opinion, I strongly believe that neither black man or black woman has had an opinion on the status quo or mainstream view of what beauty is for black women. I think that's always been determined by old white men and wannabe white women who want black features. I think we've never had a voice as black men to say, while we may have used whatever voice we had to unfairly judge black women, right? I don't think we've had a voice in the process of help defining what black women until recently.
What I hear you saying is you help perpetuate what was already there,
but not define.
Okay.
Yeah, we've helped.
I can jump on that because black women help perpetuate it as well.
Yeah.
It's a two. We were all, again, my favorite thing to say, we're all socialized to believe that white is right.
Well, they helped you. let's keep it real. They helped you perpetuate it through your job. Because if you wanted a job, it equals money, stability, and whatever. So either you fall in line with this stereotype or you know what it is out there without no job and no money.
Right.
So there's different ways that they help perpetuate different things and socialize you in your mind. And then those that don't have a voice, we sit over there like, yeah, we like straight hair. Yeah, we like this from women. Is somebody really saying
No, I think sometimes it is pushed.
And it's pushed, but see, it was pushed by mainly men, black men nonetheless, but mainly men who decided to discard their blackness in favor of corporate, because again, that's where it was socialized from. It was socialized through the means of putting your job and your ability to take care of yourself on the line. Right. So what they told you was, hey, this is what beauty looks like. Because if we think about it, European beauty is not as different as corporate standards or the corporate look.
No, they socialized it to that is the look.
That's what I'm saying.
That is the standard.
Right.
So if, again, like you said, you want money, you want a job, this is what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, what is the chat saying? Because it's been moving.
Ooh. I think Jamin is not seeing because he rightfully values the pure beauty of a black queen. So Jamon is not seeing where black male peers are still a part of the problem. No, I see where they're a part of the problem. What I'm saying is that we perpetuated it first unknowingly and then knowingly because we saw your reaction of you perpetuating it yourself. See, when you started believing it yourself as black women, because again, the black man and the black woman were on the same playing field when how they pushed this standard to us. But they knew you were the one who was going to care because it's a beauty standard. Whereas black men, we just short haircut, military. There's no, all this was geared towards as a target towards black women.
But we do care. You're right. But part of it was to be chosen as well, not only in mainstream industry, right, but chosen by our black king as well.
And that's why I say that when we go back to that, the black woman loves her job more than she loves her black man, because again, and this is a fault of ours too, but because we as black men did not say up until recently, that's not what we want. That's not what we desire. That's not what we value, and voice that. Now the black woman is coming home is like, do you like this? I got my hair straight. Do you like that? When it's really, you're doing that for your boss so you can keep your job. Right?
I disagree, but let's go to the chat.
He just said Jamon. Industry led, yes, but I don't think black men have advocated or defined it. Yeah, we haven't advocated or defined it because we knew that's not what we wanted. But then we weren't in the job force as much as black women at that time when they were really pushing this stuff. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have a voice. They knew that. So they knew the open target was the black woman. Yeah. So when they perpetuated on her and they socialized her to think that, we saw her reacting to that. And then we followed along like some dummies. Like, yeah, I guess you do want straight hair. You know, why you ain't get that perm, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's CC?
CC said it is It is, we love everything about Black women except Black women.
Oh,
I can agree with that.
mm-hmm.
But
I love everything about a Black woman except for a Black woman.
I think that fits across the board, but
Yep.
I think that we can agree with that in this case when it comes to beauty standards. Again, to me, where we differ is I think now within the past at least decade or two that we have been as Black people more prominent in saying this is what beauty for us looks like. And either you accept it or we're going to have problems and repercussions. Hence the Crown Act, hence a lot of other different acts and a lot of enacted in other different states that says you're not going to discriminate me based on my hair because I'm still professional. You're not going to discriminate me based on my, religion for my hair because I'm still professional.
Right.
My professionalism does not and should not and will not be defined solely by my hair.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Look, Sierra getting praises and stuff.
Get it, CC.
It is also because dollars drive standards and the bulk of financial power is held by Caucasians. Yeah, the bulk of financial power is held by Caucasians. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we will buy some hair from some Asian folks.
But that's the thing. Like the financial power really doesn't have to be held by Caucasians because we outspend them 2-1.
Not out earn them.
We don't out earn them. No.
Outspend them.
But hold on. You have to understand for a ethnic group to not out earn somebody that they in turn outspend. What does that say?
Yeah.
What does that say? You mean I don't earn more than you, but I buy more than you?
Yeah.
Come on.
Again, we come back and we've had this conversation. Yeah. Have we been taught what to do with money, how to do money? How to make money last, how to circulate Black dollars in Black communities. That's a whole nother conversation for another time.
Kay says, so how really can Black women overturn the standard? Because by saying it's not the standard.
You being your standard.
Yeah, by saying this is not the standard because we know that this standard is driven by X, Y, and Z that has nothing to do with us. And
we are not a monolith. We look all different kinds of ways. We do. And so that's the thing, that there is a standard. There should be no standard.
Yeah.
And some people hate that, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, it is that's exactly what it is. There is no standard. There is no particular way that.
Now I'm uncomfortable. I got to spin the wheel because I want to say, okay, the standard is not to wear a bonnet in the grocery store.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some norms, but as far as standard, yeah, like, I'm sorry, women with bonnets out in public.
Hold on.
Now, yes, definitely men, but women with bonnets in public look like you ain't wash your ass. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
If you come outside in the bonnet and PJs on, to me, you literally just woke up because ain't that much damn humidity cooking your non-edges that you don't have. Okay.
Next, please.
Let's get it.
Next.
Let's get it.
Next.
Let's get it. I'm here to ruffle feathers today.
Okay.
So
I can believe that the causing pain during sex is connected with a woman's pleasure without even asking.
So this one says, as a Black man, I am socialized and I have the privilege to believe that if I'm causing a woman sexual pain during sex, that it's automatically connected to her pleasure and I don't even ask her.
That means you touching that spot. You getting that thing.
I don't mean it. You probably in the wrong vicinity. That's where you're probably in the armpits. That's where you're at.
You know what, sir?
I'm just saying.
But do you all think that this is still relevant? Is this still a thing?
I think it's still a thing because I don't think we've had that deep conversation enough where men actually know what is pleasurable to a woman and what is not.
And reading, I think one of the things that I would talk to youth and young adults about a lot is like reading cues. Mm-hmm. They don't know any cues, but I don't think anybody does. I don't think they, they don't know cues.
Yeah.
We don't know cues.
But I think that's because it's more they're more afraid to admit that even in the age they are now and all the sex they've had now, that they really don't know what they're doing.
Well,
especially men. I can
this is about men, remember?
This is about men. But I'm saying women do this too. They don't want to seem inexperienced because they don't want to turn away a man. Right? But men don't want to seem experienced because we've always been programmed. We have to know what we're doing.
Right.
So it hits different for us, but we have the privilege of thinking that causing women pain during sex means we put in that work.
Right.
And we didn't even ask.
So let's see what the chat says.
The chat is going.
I think it's Kalia at the top.
Yeah, I had to bring the smoke, Kay. I'm sorry. Bonnets is not my thing in public, especially for men now. I don't know what they come from. You got a short haircut and you got a whole bonnet on. Take it off. Kill yourself.
Craig said, bro.
Unfortunately, yes, I think it's a male thing. Yeah, it's definitely a male thing. Because I don't think any woman has said, "Oh, his penis is hurting. I did my job." Like, I don't think a woman has said that ever. I don't think a woman has said that.
No.
Yeah. Sarah says pain does not equal pleasure. However, it is still true because softness is not taught as putting it down.
Jesus. Well,
Sarah's 100% right.
Pack it up, Sarah. Thank you.
100% right. 100% right. Softness is not taught. We're not taught anything. Let's just get this out the way as Black men. We probably didn't really learn about sex and perfect it until our mid-20s or our first child. And even then, we were winging it. You know what I mean? And that's just honest. We were winging it. And as a man, we have to own that. And I'm going to own that for us men.
Yep.
I'm going to own that for us men. Okay? Pamela says, true. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, with younger men, they are socialized to believe this. Yeah.
And older men, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just say younger men. I think older men too. What do you think?
I think, look, younger men believe it and are socialized. Older men just want to be able to do it. That's it.
Okay, got it.
They just want to be able to say they did it like that, but they, that's just them, that's just them. Exactly. Like it's not a flex because inability to walk, etc.
Oh yeah. She can't even walk today. See, I put that thing down.
Like a white chick, he wheeled that white girl in a he wheeled it out the way for the other white girl.
But again, that's the socialization, right?
Right.
I need to put you in so much pain that you're not able to walk, you're not able to stand, you're not able to do nothing. No, that's okay.
No,
I'm good on it.
Yeah, never understood that.
Right.
Never understood that. Yeah, Sierra
on fire today.
She cooking today. We're gonna but you can't call in. That's all right. We ain't gonna deal with you like that. But yeah, this is something that I have to hold men 100% accountable because there's nothing that suggests on the other side that women do anything like this.
Yeah.
Right. And we have to own that as men, and we have to talk to other men about that because that is just simply not the way. You got to read the room.
Right.
Okay. And we'll get into that later.
Whew. Okay.
You ready? Okay.
I have the privilege of not wanting to be a virgin, but preferring that my wife or significant other be a virgin.
Well. That one kind of stung. Let me take a sip.
Church. We were talking about this as far as religion is concerned, right? Because when we talk about purity culture, like most of the people that are spoken to about purity culture are female identified, not male identified.
Like 5% of across the board, any ethnic group are they talking to guys like, all right, don't have sex.
Right.
Break. That's it. That's all they do.
There's not really a lot of conversation around that. And it's really this thought of women need to be pure and wholesome. But then when she get married, she need to know how to break it down and do all the foolishness.
I'm going to just put it out there like this. Chastity belts were a real thing.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
There were no chastity belts for men.
Or what would those be called? Chastity jock strap.
Get your pee in something iron, and you got to keep it. Yeah,
that's so
it was. Yeah, it's not a thing.
Oh,
it was not a thing.
Okay.
All right, what are we talking? Sierra is right. Sierra, because you caused me to want to jump up, cook, drive 10 miles, pick up, take you. You are doing something.
Gentle. Oh, she talking about that soft.
That's soft
and gentle.
Okay.
Oh.
Make you want to get up and contribute to the rest of his life, huh? Okay.
Okay. Look, Courtney. Talk about absolutely. Okay. I ain't mad. They were still on that one. Okay.
I ain't mad because you got it. Ladies got to speak up and say what they want in that aspect, right? And this kind of ties into that aspect because, again, as women or as men, because we're looking from a male point of view, we have the privilege of saying she better be a virgin, right?
That body count thing.
That body count is a thing. And for some people, I understand why the body count can be a thing. I understand that.
Help me understand.
Well, the best way I could put it is you got a cup of water. Got a cup of water. And everybody doing this to that water. Now, because this doesn't hold anything, this is a cup of water. But because the water holds dirt and everything else,
no, sir,
that's what it is.
That's not, and that's the misconception of a vagina.
Of a JJ?
Yes, because
of a cooter cat.
Right. So I don't understand that. But your dipstick theory, every time you dip into a thing, something, a vagina or anything, you still have a residue that can go into that hole and get you whatever.
Yeah.
So this is the thought process that has happened quite a bit in this whole rhetoric about body count. It has no validity, whether it's a barrier or not. And most men are not pushing condoms. They push and let me shoot up the club. Bang, bang, motherfucker. So we just went real like here. But that's what they're trying to do, shoot up the club. And so if you're talking about a dipstick, like what? But there's no validity.
Look, Delilah said drizzle. Talk about it yet want a virgin to flip it, drop it,
ride it, etc.
Listen, I agree, Sierra. I thought the whole virgin concept was stupid. However, I do believe the whole body count is a legitimate argument up to a certain degree.
I don't think it's legitimate at all.
Yeah.
Because if you as a woman, basically what you're saying is still the same thing. As a woman, I can't find my sexual liberation, but you as a man can, especially as a Black man.
Yeah.
Because Black men are the dream of white women. Let's be clear.
I want to piss my daddy off, so I dated a Black guy.
Right? But now this whole thing of Black women have to be blah. Black women have to be blah. No, we should be able to explore our body and explore sex with whomever we want to. It is a control thing. Again, if we talk about power, it is having power over someone else.
What somebody brought to the argument of me when it came to this was, in all actuality, they gave the dipstick water thing, but that's not what really got me. What really got me, to me, body count halfway matters. It doesn't matter really, but it halfway matters to the point of saying how many miles are on this car.
But however, we're not a car.
However, hold on. Not saying you guys are a car. I'm just saying how many times has this product been used? And I think, in my opinion, body count should matter to women.
It doesn't.
No, not to women for women, to women for men.
I know what you're saying, because how many times have you used your dipstick? I mean, but it's the same principle. Again, we are socialized to believe that women should be chaste and men should spread their seed hither and fro.
So the reason that I said that was because the person that gave this theory was saying that the man wants to be able, the reason he wants the woman to be a virgin or to have less of a body count is because at that point in time, he feels like he can't teach her anything. It's the equivalent of saying Black men or men prefer younger women with less exposure than older women, because older women, you can't teach them anything. You can't teach them this. You can't have experiences that they most likely have already had. So they equate that. Some men, and this is the argument that they have, some men equate that, who care about body count, some men equate that to saying it's the same in the bedroom, because if she's had a lot of experience in the bedroom, there's nothing new I can show her. So there's no excitement for her beyond the fact of I'm just a new person. But that's it. And so for them, I don't know the screams. I'm telling you,
insecurity.
That's why the body count matters for some men.
It screams insecurity. If you got to teach me something, when we talk about grown people coming to the table as full contributing adults. So basically, you as a woman can't be an adult, not fully, until I'm with you and I teach you something. Again, that goes back to property. I can link it back every time because I keep having this argument with lots of people. It's property. I own your body and you're not supposed to be doing anything. I'm supposed to be teaching you what you do, how you do, when you do.
That was the argument.
Sir.
That was the argument.
That is not it.
Yeah, that was the argument.
Such an insecure thing. When you are secure in your manhood and you're okay with your woman being who she is and how she is, body counts won't matter. What if you meet a person that don't even know? They're like, I don't know.
That's even worse because now you don't know who you slept with.
How is that? I don't know. Maybe if they didn't take the time to count because counting wasn't important. Maybe they were just having experiences with people.
Yeah, again, it's a double standard that doesn't fit across the board.
Again. It's a double
standard. It may not be fair, but it's a double standard.
And there we sit.
Yeah, it's a double standard. But again, body count for some people, a lot of people, especially men, body count matters because it says a lot about who you are as a person.
How does it say who you are as a person?
I'm just telling you.
No. You said it says something about, how does it say something about who you are as a person?
It says something about who you are in their eyes as a person.
Sexually liberated person. So we'll keep going because we're gonna go around about this. I love it. Look right here, baby.
That's you.
Right here.
That's you.
I appreciate it. It's me.
That's you. That's you. That's you.
You're not gonna read my kudos? Okay, fine.
What they say?
Read.
They talk about April cooking.
Up there.
Yeah.
Starting with the lawn.
Yeah. April cooking. Yeah.
What did? Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with Sierra.
Right.
DeLon said it's insecurity. Yeah, he did. It's insecurity.
What you say, Sierra?
If only way you feel like a man is to teach me something, then you need a pet, not a partner.
Woo. Well, oh Lord. Well. Okay, next.
Again, I can say a whole bunch of stuff, but that takes away from the whole idea of the argument. So it should be something about that a man, if he's running through 1,000 women, it tells me a lot about that man. It should. Listen, for me personally, I see the argument of why body count matters for men, for some men. On the other hand, I believe women should judge men by the same token, because it's one of those things that's a double standard that does not have to be a double standard. I'm sorry. This is me about to really go in. Some of these double standards don't have to be double standards, especially in today's time. It just really doesn't. And to me, what really gets me upset is that, like the Bible, we want to pick and choose double standards of yesteryears that don't even work for today's time. Like, these double standards do not and should not apply to the 21st or the 22nd century, because it's literally irrelevant.
Well, and the reason, again, that's why I started with the norms, is because that's how we are socialized to believe. And the silence if people don't talk about it, so if male identified folks who believe, yeah, that's a crock of BS, right? If they're not talking about it and challenging men on this thought, then it continues to be the thought.
Again, but it's a double standard across, because and once we get to the women double standards next week,
yeah, it's gonna be more.
I'm gonna be real salty.
You're gonna be cooking me.
I'm gonna be cooking because this double standard we had about this, I'm gonna be grabbing for air and everything. Because at the same time, that proves my point. A lot of double standards should not exist.
I agree with you, but we're just on the men tonight.
And if they do exist, you should hold both men and women accountable for the same. That's why they're no longer double standards.
I agree. Okay, let's go to the next one, because we could get stuck, because we will.
No, you get stuck.
You went back. I was ready to go.
You get stuck.
Whatever.
You would get stuck.
Anyway.
You got 19 of these things?
No.
Okay.
In general, the more sexual partners that I have, the more stature I receive amongst my peers. I think we can keep going, because this is what we just talked about, right?
Yeah, same thing.
It's the same thing. So yeah. Okay.
Again, as a man, I've never seen you slept with a lot of women. You must be the truth. How? That just means I slept with a lot of women.
Oh, but this is for real.
Yeah, I know it's for real. I just never understood that concept. Like, you slept with a lot of women. As a man, you must be the shit.
Well, because your experience, because people want you, all of those things.
Yeah, I don't get it. I could be sucking the whole time. You never
could
know.
Be, but that's not the thing. So I can easily imagine that most of the women that appear in hip hop videos are there solely to please men. What y'all think?
When there are still so many places in our country where women don't have any say-so over our bodies, there's definitely a double standard that is extremely relevant, and people think they should exist. They're full of crap, because those double standards shouldn't exist. Those are standards that should be existing across the board for men and women. Body count is one of them.
But I think there should not be a standard. That's what I'm saying. There shouldn't be. Along with that, you be human. You be you. And if somebody doesn't like it, move around, Clam.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Double standards don't have to be double standards. Yes, I agree. The challenges there are not enough opportunities for these crucial conversations that educate and challenge the cultural norm. Yeah, and that's why we have these conversations, because we want to challenge what you guys have been taught, because what you guys have been taught, here's the scary possibility, it may be wrong.
A lot of times it is wrong. And Courtney, you can call in right now. Don't wait until next week.
Talking about she got to call in next week.
Girl. Oh, that's a challenge. That's what she's talking about.
Oh,
I'm
finna cook you. I'm finna cook. Okay, so in this situation, this says, I can easily imagine that most women that appear in hip hop videos are there solely to please men. Yeah, it's no shame and no guilt in knowing that we needed women in the video to look however they needed to look based off what urban culture was hot at the time, or what urban style was hot at the time to push the video. They were eye candy. I mean, it's no different than sometimes in some of the women videos when they're rapping or singing about men, where that one particular man is an eye candy, or however many men in the video are eye candies to help tell the story of what they want to see. And the better the eye candy, the better the video. So, I mean, that's just what that was.
If we're talking about, well, go ahead.
True, because the same way men think women do all things solely for them, women are policed. Yeah, you guys are policed about everything, because men are viewed as unable to control themselves.
Boys will be boys.
That's debatable, but yeah.
How many do we need to? I started with grab them in the rear. That's the thing. Like men are seen. They're seen. That's why we had that whole conversation about the bear in the forest. They're seen that way. I'm not saying they are that way.
They're seen that way, but what I'm saying is based on today's norms. For me, I don't see it that way.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna say the Judge Toller thing. Open your mind wide as a prairie. Yeah, because you're right here.
I'm not right
This
there.
is not just here.
I'm not right
This
there.
is, I'm looking everywhere.
I'm looking.
And there is this social, when women are utilized as objects to sell things, whether it's cable TV, whether it's, I don't know, a Honda, whatever it is.
Women are used across the board to sell a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and we're specifically talking about Black culture
Yeah.
in hip hop videos.
Yeah.
We had this whole conversation about, excuse me, mom, if you're still listening, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Good song, by the way.
You make me sick. And like in certain rap videos, like pulling girls' tops off while they're videoing and stuff like that. Like there were lots of things going on that women did know about and things that they did not know about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is still happening.
Mm-hmm.
The policing definitely of Black women's bodies is still happening.
But I want to say how it's still happening when you got people like Sexy Red, Lotto, Doja Cat, all these other trashy women out here doing things that we were used to policing. So to me right now, it's basically like saying, remember when people say, you don't need the KKK no more, y'all niggas is killing yourselves enough, we just gonna sit back and watch.
There are some women who are doing it. They have co-opted it themselves. I get that.
That seems to be the norm of today,
it is
though.
not the norm.
Okay.
If you really look at sex trafficking, if you look at things of that nature, that's part of that whole game. Right here in the city of Houston, if we go off of, Harwin and all of these back streets, it is all the same thing.
Yeah.
It is still happening. And so just because we see it on a certain level does not mean that Black women have now become empowered and in control of their own bodies, just in certain instances where they have a big platform to do so. But most of the time, just like Black rappers back in the day were run by white men, they too are run by somebody.
Oh yeah, in the rap game, I mean, unless you're independent, you got to answer to somebody.
Yeah.
That's facts. You got to answer to somebody.
Yeah.
But the choice to answer to somebody, you could have made a better choice because now with everything that's out there, you don't have to be signed to a record label to where you have to act like a Sexy Red if that's not really you, because Sexy Red, Meg Stallion, Doja Cat, Lotto, all these women have portrayed that the new norm outside of Lil' Kim is ratchetness, exposing your body, twerking, everything. You got more women in the Black community that know about the ceiling challenge than any other ethnic group. But I
have no idea.
It's liberation of, I'm glad you don't. It's liberation of the body and the Jedi mind trick of thinking that empowerment is there because you don't need men to put you in your own music video when it's just now the norm is it's a bunch of girls in the music video with their girls doing the same thing, twerking anywhere and everywhere.
So the double standard became, so this is what you want me to do. So I'm going to do it for me in a safer environment.
Right.
In a safer environment.
But I don't think it's safer based off what's been going on.
Now, P. Diddy, if we talk about that, but that's a whole other conversation.
I'm talking about women and women. We ain't talking about P. Diddy.
So if we talk about Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki wasn't the Nicki version that we see today when she first started out.
No, she was not.
So she had to do the game. It was a game that she had to play. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's the game we had to play when we had the women in the video as male rappers twerking. They were there for us. But we really were saying, because I was on the video sets, we're really saying, we need your help to sell this damn video. It's not going to sell unless there's some fly ass women in it, because that's the norm. Now when women have gotten smart and say, we don't need male rappers, we have female rappers, and we'll be in videos doing what we've always done in videos, but just with female rappers.
So along with that, and I'm not saying that in some cases there weren't folks who were like, I just need you to sell this video. Along with that came a lot of violence to women. And so to kind of take that out of that whole equation that, oh, we just need for you to sell this video. Again, body parts.
Yeah.
Again, that and the violence that could and did in you getting to the top and being a video vixen and all of those things, and the couches that you smashing somebody on or whatever, all of that is still real. So yeah. What does chat say?
Yeah. Sierra says that's like saying we had a black president. Men do not experience prejudices. Yeah, I guess so. I guess
okay.
So. Okay. I guess so. I do feel that if you don't put on, the industry doesn't get behind these ladies to be successful. Who cropped the Rhapsody album? I didn't cop the Rhapsody album. She is dope though. She just had a birthday not too long ago.
I love her.
There is someone pushing buttons. Ours don't get pushed. Yeah. So there you have people like, honestly, Nicki is a good creator, but she had to do what she had to do. To be honest, Cardi B is an equally good creator.
Yeah.
But she had to do what she had to do. But anybody outside of those two women and people like Rhapsody, or I even go so back far as like Raw Digger or MC Light or even Missy Elliott, who's the genius level of creation.
Oh my God.
Right? There's a lot of women out there who did not have to go that route. And they chose not to go that route. And that's the thing. It's still the choice of, especially in the music industry, it's still the choice of, hey, do I want to get on for popping it? Okay, well, I'll be that, and I'll be the hoe as long as I'm getting paid. And that's what men were doing. When we had women in the music video, a lot of these niggas was not from the streets. It was a nigga behind the camera that they was rolling with that was from the streets. But over 50% of these people were not from the streets.
I get that. But what we're talking about is how black women's bodies were co-opted to prop yourself up on and get your dream. That's basically what we're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Lauryn Hill just got the greatest album of all time on iTunes.
Yeah.
She has the greatest album of all times with The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yep.
And again, that was an industry standard that she was setting because she chose that way with her creativity, just like Missy Elliott did, just like the Brat did. The Brat has so much skills and can lyrically beat a lot of these rappers that's out here right now. But because she's not twerking and stuff like that, she pushed the video with the Tyrese video. But other than that, what I can say is a part of this is I do agree with that situation, but I think it's a little bit loaded. And I think as of today's time, that's not the case. It hasn't been the case since the rise of people like, Nicki Minaj, who filled the void that was left by Lil' Kim way years prior. And now it's been set ablaze and set on fire. And that's what the industry mostly is nowadays, even with white people, white artists.
Okay. Most of lyrics I listen to in hip hop perpetuate the ideas of males dominating women sexually and socially.
Yep.
We just kind of talked about this. Yep. Yes. And again, it's that thought of propping people up or standing on black women's back to get what you want and need. But
now it's black women doing the same.
They're standing on each other's back. They're actually doing a collective, I'm moving forward. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but you got Glorilla out here when she first came out having a whole spelling bee talking about some Funck.
So
nigga free, I don't want it. And I'm like, okay, all this dissing men and this masculinity that's present in today's music amongst black women, we don't gotta do nothing too much now. Most of the lyrics that's out there now is how she strapped, she gonna hit a nigga for a lick, she only want it for his money, she twerking, she got the baddest vagina, and so forth and so forth. Okay. That's pretty much it right now. Even in battle rap, it's literally like that.
Sex or sexy pays big bucks, and but at the end of the day, if they can stomach it, they will continue.
Yeah. Listen, Sexy Red is just a level of ratchet I just cannot accept.
Yeah.
I don't like Doja Cat because she's a culture vulture. I like Lotto and I like Rhapsody. I do like Cardi B as far as her lyrical skills and what she's doing, but other than that, yeah, it's not too many out there that I would listen to.
Do that one.
My man said, no argument, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
We'll see what else we got.
I have the privilege of consuming and popularizing the word pimp, which is based on the exploitation of women with virtually no opposition from other men. Now, pimp is kind of old, right? So
yeah, it's old.
So let's go to the next one because we kind of had some debate about the next one. I don't know if you remember this one.
Debate about the next one?
I can hear and use language, bitches and hoes, that demean women with virtually no opposition from men.
Yeah. And I 50% agree with that because, again, that's kind of old too, because in today's time, just in regular street conversation, women call each other they friends, they best friend. Bitch, you playing? Okay, bitch, I see you. And it's like, even though it's in a commandeering and a near fashion, they've taken over the reins of what we used to doing in the 2000s and 90s and 80s.
But at the same time, that's like, y'all can call each other nigga, but let a white man call you nigga. It's on and popping.
That's across the board.
Again, but it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It
actually is. So if and I don't do this because I don't like that personally, but if women have commandeered the word bitch to call each other, bitch, what's going on? I don't like that. I'm just putting it out there.
That's what
they do
is.
It all the time. Women do it all the time. I don't do it. However, if they have commandeered that as a word to talk to each other or whatever and turn it around, how is that any different than men saying nigga what's up? What? And the same thing, because we don't call each other like that. I don't think. I'm talking about black women.
Call each other what?
Nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all do.
I don't know.
Yeah, y'all do is bitch, nigga. And then y'all have the masculinity nowadays to where it's bitch, nigga, bitch ass nigga.
Well, that's in a different context.
That's the thing.
I think bitch ass nigga is talking about somebody else. I don't think we're talking about women. I'm talking about women talking to women. I don't think women are calling each other bitch ass niggas.
Yes.
But whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. In the chat, let's see if the chat is going on.
It feels like it's becoming exactly. It's universal. Like it's what women do to women nowadays, where this used to be like, I'd say like 2000 to 2010. After that, no, that's not, it's more women saying that to other women, and the fact of where it's like, it's become norm and it's street talk. Camilla's like, no, we don't. That's because you don't, because you got some sense. We ain't talking about the people who got sense. We talking about the majority and a generalization. And yes, you do. Generally speaking, you can go to any X, aka Twitter, you can go to Instagram, you can go to all that, and you will see the exact same thing.
But that's a particular kind of person in your feed. That's what I believe. But okay. I can agree to disagree on that one. And I can learn from you on that, because you are more in touch with that.
I'm staying on air because
so you see, I lean more to your understanding.
It's changed, but I would say that back then, yes, that statement where we calling women bitches and hoes and all this other stuff, yeah, that was very prevalent, and that was something that we did, and women were not doing that in normal conversation. They weren't using the word when back then, like in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. If a woman called another woman a B word,
it's fight.
It was fight time. Yeah. It was never commandeering, but now it's commandeering.
It's Jerry Springer.
Right. Jerry.
Okay. Let's keep going. Yeah. I can wear a shirt that others and I commonly refer to as a wife beater and never have the language challenged. So again, this is something that's a little older, that whole, and I think it's geographical as well, because not everybody uses this tone, like a shirt with something, or what did you say?
Tank top.
Just a tank top or whatever.
But that could be looked at as a girl. I didn't know a tank top was a girl. You talking about the white thing that I put on my shirt? That's a tank top. Yeah, it's tank top. I don't know.
So all this is about challenging language.
Yeah,
we can move on from
that challenging language and what people feel.
Because we want to keep going. I have the privilege to define Black women as having an attitude without referencing the range of attitude that Black women have.
So I'm going to side with women on this one, because the reason I side with women on this one is because in some cases, they have a right to have an attitude. Black men, I think we have to understand that as we deal with our sisters, we have to understand that in some cases, they have a legit reason to have an attitude. They have a legit, just like in some cases, we have a legit reason to be knocked down, drag out, angry. We have to give that leverage to Black women and say, in some cases, they have a legit right to be mad, whether it be with us or with society.
And I appreciate that, honey.
Yeah, I agree with that. They have, and we as Black men, we have to understand that we do have that privilege of saying Black woman angry, Black woman attitude, right? But not realizing that she actually has a reason to have an attitude.
You know, I hated that song, Smile, that came out. What was the dude's name? Was it from Florida? That talks about you too pretty to be smile with Snoop Dogg. You know who I'm talking about. Never mind. Anyway, it was
Florida. It's Florida. See the Pitbull or Flow Rider.
Never mind. Anyway, somebody help me in the chat because I don't know. But it was about smiling all the time, and I'm like, no, because I can't.
Lil Duval. There it is.
Florida.
Yeah, Lil Duval, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Sierra. You be knowing, girl. But I was just like, no, because there's some things on my mind I'm trying to get through, and I'm not pretending all the time. I can feel just like I want you to be able to feel.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So we got some stuff in the chat. Someone said something about wife beater.
I thought it was a white beater until college.
So yeah,
Sierra being out here racist as hell, talking about a white beater.
I like that better than a wife beater.
No, because that signifies white people beating people, and now they've been doing that for years. So no, it's not a white beater, and it's barely a wife beater. It's just I say tank top. I still got to look. Is that a proper term? Tank top? I don't know. Because I have tank tops. I don't know.
Okay.
But it says, sis is tired, bruh, or angry. I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Life is hard for most Black women. We work hard, take care of home, kids, without taking care of ourselves. That is true. That is very true. Yeah. Yes. I get so annoyed at being told to smile all the time.
Yep.
Well, again, we have to understand that as Black men, you have a right to be angry at some things. Mm-hmm. Just like Black men have a right to be angry at some things.
Yeah.
And we have to give each other grace. So if you don't want to smile, don't smile.
Say that. Give each other what?
We have to give each other grace on that.
Grace.
Yeah, we have to give each other grace on that. I don't feel the need to show all of my teeth to make you feel comfortable.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. Go on, girl.
Well, the one thing I can say, though, is if you don't show all your teeth, or is if you don't smile, unless you have a man, be prepared to stay alone and be prepared to have that stigmatism on you that you are combative and you do look angry.
Now, and that's a double standard that we're going to have to work on between the sexes. And that is why we are having these conversations.
Yeah.
Women literally inhale and get accused of having an attitude, or the random dude at the gas station calling me out my name because I ain't smiling.
Again, it happens, because in that case, women are not calling niggas out their name at the gas station because he didn't want to give her his phone number, but at the same time, the double standard y'all face is if you don't fix your face, you're going to be associated with having an attitude or being non-approachable. And then you turn around and call us and say, why nobody talking to us?
Well, again, like I said, that's not a fair assumption because you said we have a lot of things on our mind. Just like
and you have a right to be. Yeah.
A lot of things on your mind.
Yeah, you have a right to be.
Like, nigga, why you not smiling?
Yeah.
It's just life. We both have things on our minds. So
yeah, you have a right to be. You have a right to be mad and angry at some things. I'm just saying this is what comes with it.
Yeah. So,
and that's all I'm saying. Yeah, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
But that's what does,
Okay.
Right?
I have the privilege of defining Black women's attitude without defining my attitude as a Black man. And you just hit that. Yeah. So we don't even have to go through that.
Yeah, Black men have attitudes. We have a right to have an attitude.
You do.
Just like Black women have attitudes.
You do.
Y'all have a right to have an attitude.
But it's okay to call us out on ours, but not say anything about your own that you have walking around.
That's what that was. I think Black women should say it more often because they know what an attitude looks like. See, you have an attitude, Black woman, because you're able to operate in your emotions and you're processing your emotions. We have an attitude because we don't know what the hell we're doing when it comes to the emotional side of that spectrum.
Yep. And this is the last one. And I have the privilege of believing that the failure of the Black family is due to the Black matriarch. Well.
That means as a man, I have a privilege to say that the reason that the Black family failed is because of the mother.
We ain't together now because of you.
Or even though we not together, our son and daughter, they fail and do whatever at school because you.
Yep.
That's what that's saying. Look, Delon said, Craig said, I'm struggling with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can probably guess why, because 9 times out of 10, the kids are left with the wife or the ex-wife. Second, we've already shown data that says Black women are causing or initiating more divorces than Black men. Even amongst any ethnic group of men they marry, be it white, Black, or Asian, or Hispanic, they're still executing divorces quicker than men if we're just basing it off gender. So do we say that is this possible for this to stick? Or can we say it's both of y'all?
So I'm going to say whether it's a divorce, which we don't want, we want folks to have healthy, sustainable marriages that lead to healthy, sustainable families. People can co-parent. That is an option. If you don't work well together, it is an option that both people have to buy into.
Yeah. Why are they initiating divorce though?
Ooh, well, Courtney, that's what I was talking about.
Let me cook you for a minute. They're initiating divorces for the most part, statistically, because of feelings that have nothing to do with the actual reason why they got divorced. Because only 40% of those women who initiate divorce initially regret initiating divorce in the first place. That's why they're initiating divorce.
I'm going to say something that probably you won't think is popular, but I'm going to say it anyway.
It's probably popular.
I said you won't think it's popular.
It's probably popular.
Maybe they're getting divorced because they don't even know who they are in this relationship and they need to figure that out first.
They didn't know who they were before they got in a relationship.
Exactly.
But here's the kicker. Neither did that nigga.
Why you got to call him a nigga?
Because y'all call each other. Never mind.
Anyway.
So yeah, it doesn't matter why they're initiating the divorce per se. And most of it is because they're unhappy when that's really not it. They really don't know what they want, who they want, or who they are.
I really want to go back to what we're saying, though. Yeah. I have the privilege of believing that the failure of the Black family is due to the Black matriarch, the woman in the family.
I don't agree. I agree that this is a privilege of ours as Black men, but I don't agree that the failure has to do solely on her, even though she has the kids 90% of the time, and she initiates the divorce over 70% of the time statistically.
Now, we're talking about statistics now.
Yes, statistics now within the past at least 3 decades.
Okay.
In the 80s, women were not initiating divorces like that.
Not black women.
No, not even black women. Like women didn't start this trend until like maybe 95, maybe 90.
I'm going to say 2000s.
Maybe. But it wasn't, y'all just started, but it caught on so quickly. It's now divorces because, again, not happy.
Again, though, it is not knowing what happy is, not having expectations. I think somebody, 50-50 split.
Yeah, exactly.
I think someone said uncommunicated expectations. That's
on both sides.
saying.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're not communicating.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the failure of the black family is due to the lack of positioning of the father. If they themselves ever been a daddy, it's a tricky one.
Ooh,
listen,
Jesus.
The black mother and the black father both came from broken homes. Nobody knew how to be a mama because a black woman wasn't taught how to be a wife. And in that same household, if she had a brother, he was not taught how to be a husband. What happened was that single black mom replaced her boyfriend or her husband with her little man of the house and put expectations on him. And then she treated her daughter like she was her friend.
Right.
That's what happened.
Right. And so go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up in a second.
Yeah. Men have the privilege yet want to lead. If they lead, they're not responsible for going on with the ones in their household.
With the situations, the goings on in the home.
The goings on in the household. Yeah, they're responsible and they want to lead. And that's their God-given responsibility to lead. Are they ready to lead? No more than you're ready to be a wife. What I'm trying to say is both of y'all, the black man and the black woman, were not taught how to be husband and wives. So why is one, be it the black man or the black woman, expecting something from somebody that they weren't taught to begin with?
And I think that's where we are in this conversation. Right? Yeah. That's why we decided to have this conversation, even though it was difficult. It's been a difficult conversation.
How long can they use not knowing as an excuse? Sierra, as long as you can use not knowing and your feelings as an excuse, because your feelings are not facts, and your feelings is the reason why most women are getting divorced. It's called irreconcilable differences. I don't need that shit. So, because I want women to take accountability for the statistics that are out there, because men have to take accountability for the lack thereof in something like this. I have the privilege as a black man to blame you, the black woman.
But we're not we're talking about black men right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, if we have to take accountability for this statement right here, which is a messed up statement and a messed up truth, and it should not be going on, women have to take accountability. Like she said, how long can they use not knowing for an excuse? The same length of time, because both of you came from the same environment. They need to get help.
Can we, because that's where I'm trying to go to, because you're trying to stay on that divisiveness.
I'm not divisive. What I'm saying is that accountability is across the board.
But how do you do accountability again if you've not been taught accountability?
I've said that.
No.
I've said accountability. What I've said is both of you were not taught how to be husband and wives. Therefore, if you're not taught how to be husband and wives, you're not taught how to have accountability. You're not taught how to do the things that's necessary to stay together.
And what I'm saying is, how then are you taught accountability?
What I'm saying is, I get that, but what I'm saying is you can't expect that from somebody if you don't know it yourself.
What I'm saying is, how then are you taught accountability?
You're not.
I'm switching.
Black men usually don't take account. Ooh, I'm not gonna cook it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Getting triggered.
I'm not triggered.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay, because this is just a conversation, because just like you can say black women don't take accountability.
They don't.
That is not your lived experience.
That is a lived experience.
Not always.
No, but that's the lived experience, and that is the norm, because that accusation has way more base than the apology. That accusation.
Whose apology?
Exactly. Black women ain't apologizing.
See, we're gonna go back there.
Black women ain't apologizing.
That's so.
Black men ain't apologizing either.
I want you to go back
Black
to
men,
slide. I want you to go back to slide one.
And black women are not apologizing.
I want you to go back to the norm.
We ain't got that much
time. Because this is where I did not want to go to the divisiveness where we're now on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
It's not divisive.
Yes, it is.
It's not divisive.
You can say that, but the truth is it's divisive. And that doesn't help us get to where we're trying to go as a people.
You can feel a split in the family even when the parents are still in the home.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a split in the family. And it's the kids know that. Mm-hmm. The kids can sense that.
And so the divorce might actually be the thing that they need to do.
It might be.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not.
What we were talking about is
I believe in divorce.
What we're talking about is the stereotype or what we were saying was that Black women are responsible for that. We can, that they have a privilege to do that. That's where we are. I'm focusing on the statement that we said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so in thinking about all of this, right? I'm not saying that Black women don't hold responsibility for things falling apart. Not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm reading the question straight on directly and saying that Black men have the privilege of saying, you're the reason why this fell apart.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And not, we got on this whole, you don't take accountability.
No, what I said was, I do agree with that statement that Black men have that. But again, what some Black women like Pamela don't seem to understand is you can't expect something from somebody that didn't have it in the first place if you both grew up in broken homes. So if we as Black men and Black women both grew up not knowing how to be fathers, not taught how to be fathers, not shown an example how to be fathers and or mothers, and the mothers in the household, I can no more say that you failed. As a Black man, I can no more say that you failed or you're the reason why this relationship and or marriage failed, no more than she could say I was an absent dad.
Right. I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
So
that's where my point stopped.
And that's why I was trying to pivot.
That's where my point stopped.
From how do we then learn?
Mm-hmm. Black women take accountability.
See. That's why I can't stand him, y'all. Sometimes
Pamela needs to take accountability for our actions.
No, Black men and Black women need to come together, have the difficult conversations that might be heated, that might deal with what we have in our past, but our legacies do not have to define us.
Don't individualize it, Carmela. This is generalization. That's what people do. Don't individualize it.
Yeah, we're not really.
Yeah, don't individualize it.
Yeah.
When you individualize and say I take accountability, we're not talking about just you. We're talking about generalization.
We're talking about Black men, Black women,
right?
Been socialized in our society, and this is an ongoing conversation. If you all haven't heard some of the rhetoric, it's scary. It really is scary.
I think the scariness involves that we're both feel like we're not being heard. Mm-hmm. Again, we have not known as men, Black women to take accountability. We have not. I'm sorry. That's just facts. However, on the same side, Black women have not heard Black men take accountability.
Thank you for saying the whole thing. Because I think as we've had this conversation just then, it was chopped up.
No, I see, but I've been saying
Black men need to have accountability. Black women need to have accountability.
I've said that my position is this across the board. If neither one has heard and know what it looks like to have accountability, stop expecting it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Because no, I'm sorry. Black women do not take accountability, especially in today's time. The accusation never matches the apology level. And the accusation from a Black man talking about you cheat, you out here doing this and that does not match the apology level if you get one. What I can say is that Black women are more likely to offer an apology than Black men. Whether it be a watered down apology or not is debatable. However, you both don't know how to take accountability. That's the point. That's the point I'm standing on. And nobody is sitting here saying, wait a minute. If we both don't know how to do something, why are we not trying to figure out how to do it together?
Pride.
Then you will fail.
There we go. And so what we are hoping and what we're trying to do is have a deeper conversation so people can truly understand, because we started this with norms and how these things keep going, right?
Yeah.
And what we found is most of these things are still going in some kind of form or shape within relationships, which are not healthy.
Yeah.
At all.
We argue with each other to take ownership before putting the hands to the work of individuals. Yeah, listen. I can't show you what what accountability looks like. Well, not me, Black woman, but in general, the Black man, Black woman, he can't show you what accountability looks like no more than you could show him what accountability looks like, because you both never had it. You've both never had to confront it. You've both never had to deal with it. You've both never had to sit in it. You've both never had to process it. However, there is a way for you both to learn about it and to start implementing it and to start saying, hey, I need to hold you accountable, or hey, you should have held me accountable. I'm holding myself accountable. Right? Now that you know what it is and know how to do and know how to use it, know how to implement it. But until then, until that happens, until the Black woman says, you're right, that accusation don't be the same pitch as that apology. And Black men come back and say, you know what? Same with me. When I be accusing you, I got a lot of bass in my voice, but that apology don't come as quick. Until we can say that to each other, it's still going to be who is going to budge first as far as admitting something, as if that's going to be the big thing that's going to help you guys get back together. Again, because we all want to be seen, heard, understood, prioritized, and loved. We all want that. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, says Big Fact. We feel like we aren't being heard, so that's how the argument presents. Yeah. And Black men feel the same way. Why you think we argue with you in the first place? We argue with you for the same reason you argue with us. We feel like you don't hear us. We feel like you don't see us. That's why we have these retarded social norms that are out there, because they're stupid. They shouldn't be social norms that define what we as Black people think and how we treat each other. Unfortunately, that's where we are. And now that we recognize that's where we are, like you said, what are we going to do about it? How do we fix it? Well, again, we fix it by taking accountability that, generally speaking, for Black men, that accusation towards that Black man, every 5 minutes, a Black man is raping and killing a woman. That accusation is not as clear and has as much tone as the apology. I'm sorry, Black man, that you don't know and have the tools, and your mama didn't give you the tools to not be in that position to where we would label you as a statistic. I'm sorry, Black man, that you didn't have the tools for us not to label you and say we would rather choose the bear than a Black man in the woods. And we as Black men have to get up and have that bass in our voice to say, I'm sorry, Black woman, that I didn't know that this was tearing you down and I was accusing you and this, and that, and I need to come back and apologize. I'm sorry, Black woman, for not sticking around because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I didn't want to admit that because I didn't want to seem like a sucker in front of you. That's what needs to happen. That's how you fix that. And you seek to understand each other. You give each other grace because, again, you came from the same household. Ain't there one of you had your mama and daddies, most likely. And if you did, there was some trauma involved, because that's what we as Black folk as a collective, male and female, have to deal with. Yeah. Oh, we know this was deep tonight, y'all. It was deep, but this is just part one. And when that woman string come, I'm telling you.
See, you see he was so strong right now.
Telling you.
He was strong.
Trying to
He was
cook.
strong. He was cooking people already.
Trying to cook.
He wasn't even like trying to like it was a fight.
Yeah, it was a fight for understanding because again, I think that at the end of the day.
I know you want to be seen, heard, understood.
No, I don't. I'm already seen her by you. I ain't worried about nobody else. But at the end of the day, what I want people to see and understand as far as Black folk is saying, no, it's not as equally as you think it is, Black woman. No, it's not as equally as you think it is. As far as the accountability and doing this and doing that.
Okay, we're not going to go there again.
Yeah.
We got up. Because
I'm just saying it's not as equal.
Did any of this conversation bring light to you as far as like some of the things that Black women are experiencing that you was like, nah, forget that. They ain't experiencing that.
I never said they're not experiencing that. I didn't say they weren't experiencing that. I said that they weren't experiencing it in today's time on the level that they were back then.
Okay.
Some of the things, yeah. But some of the things I agree with and I already knew because that's what we as Black men are experiencing. We're experiencing the same thing. At least y'all stuff is getting reported. That's just,
are you talking about sexual assault and rape?
I'm talking about any statistic that involves basically with the exception of unaliving Black men. Yeah, there's a lot of the stats that get reported for Black women that don't get reported for Black men. And that's on purpose.
I'm going to plead the fifth because we need to go. You know, we've been on for almost 2 hours. Shout out to you guys for sticking with us. This has been, yeah. She wants us to reread the statement.
Girl, our battery about to die.
I'm sorry. But we thank you all. I'm so sorry. You have been so integral to this conversation. And we know it was a difficult one. I mean, we laughed along the way, baby. You know,
it's a lot of laughter.
Yeah,
I don't take none of this seriously.
Yeah, we laugh, and you know, I love that I can banter with you and take a position and stand on it, and know afterwards we're gonna kiss and be silly together.
A lot of kissing. Why you think I'm working on this Deuce?
You know what, sir? I think it's time for us to go.
We gotta go.
Yes. Have a great night.
Deuce.
Thanks. Bye.
Wait, hold on. Somebody said something.
Uh-oh.
All meaning all men and women, all Black men and women. That's what I meant.
Woo. Yeah. Okay.
All Black men.
We'll part 2.
Deuce.
Coming soon.
Y'all better be ready. No, next Sunday. Y'all better be ready.
Yes. All right.
Deuce.
Bye.